Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
All right. Welcome to Sportsmen Media.
Here we go.
Mike and Rob here. If you guys could only see behind the scenes of what just transpired and technical issues. But we're live. We got a lot to talk about this week. Wannabe Kings, big trades, World Baseball Classic, and a possible huge shakeup to the MLB. Let's get it.
And you're listening to The Sportsmen, Mike and Rob.
All right, let's go. So the wannabe king that Mike is talking about is LeBron James. Mike over here is a well-known LeBron hater. For those of you who don't know or don't really pay attention right now or are busy with life, LeBron James passed up Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the most points in NBA history. It was what a night. The Lakers still lost, but all eyes were on LeBron. You know what? All I got to say about that is it's a different time. If you look at the scores nowadays, you look at any NBA games, both teams are scoring well over 100 points, pretty close to 200 points a team. And that's because there's no defense anymore. You can't play defense because you'll get a foul called. It's a soft game nowadays. It's a lot less physical. I'm not taking away from the fact that these guys are freak athletes, but it's just a different time. It's a different game. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's totally a different game. It's not physical like it used to be. You know, you really had to earn those buckets back in the day. In MJ's time, Kareem's time, there was not. You know, there was a heavy defensive presence on the floor. You were getting slapped. You were getting elbowed. You weren't getting all these foul calls. People weren't trying to flop all over the place like it's soccer. You know, and I could argue NBA actors are becoming actors now just as much as soccer players. You know, you've seen those guys just clutching their ankles and shins when they just don't even get touched on the field. And it's just a whole nother game. And LeBron James, yeah, he holds the record. But my biggest argument to why he's not the GOAT, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who has held that record for decades, you know, has held the record since Michael Jordan and beyond. Never once was he considered over Michael Jordan just because he had the most points scored in NBA history. There's a lot more to it than scoring. You got defense, you got, you know, team play, charisma on and off the field, and LeBron's just not that guy for me. He's just a crybaby LeBron. You saw it the other game. He's on the floor crying. Kobe's rolling over in his grave, watching him on his team doing this kind of stuff on the floor. I mean, that little hand slap that he was crying for never would have gotten called back in the day with Michael Jordan and Kareem. Not once would a player whine over that. You know, there's just so much that keeps him from that. Is he top 10? Yes. Is he top 5? You can argue that. But I just don't think anyone can argue successfully why he's the GOAT, why he's the king. People call him the king. They've been calling him the king for his whole career. I just don't see it. Maybe he had more fire back in the day. Maybe he's just tired and used up. You know, he's the guy that's going to sit out the fourth quarter when the game's on the line. He's not the guy that's going to come in clutch. I mean, he saw that last year when the Lakers missed the playoffs, or the year before, where they had a chance during that stretch to win some games, and he sat out with a little ankle injury that people are speculating he wasn't even hurt, but he did it anyways to make a point. I mean, who does that kind of thing?
Yeah, you know what? I got to disagree with you. I say there is a case for him to be the GOAT. I don't think he is. I do think he is top 10, top 5. I do have him in my top 5. But I mean, the numbers, all the numbers all around. It's not just the scoring title. And yeah, the scoring title alone doesn't put him in that category. It's the fact that he's in the top 3 in almost every category there is in basketball. But I definitely I don't have him as the GOAT. Yeah, just for the sheer fact of it is a completely different game. And the dude's just a beast. He's a freak of nature, 6'9", just huge. And the ability to move around like a point guard, being that size, he can play any position. But it's just crazy to think about, like, this list right here. LeBron James, now number 1. Number 2, Kareem. 3, Karl Malone. Both those guys are not three-point shooters. Number 4, Kobe. 5, MJ. 6, Dirk, not a three-point shooter. 7, Wilt, again. And 8, Shaq. Those are big dudes. Centers, 9 Carmelo, 10 Moses Malone. And back in the day, yeah, if you went to the post, if you were inside the post, you were getting beat up. Elbows and punches, literally punches. And nowadays, like that call, the one that you're talking about, where he was throwing a tantrum worse than my 2-year-old. It did look pretty bad, but I disagree with you in the fact that I was a big Kobe fan, but I did see him complain to the refs. I seen MJ bitch to the refs too. That's part of the game. But what's not part of the game is the fact that you're on the ground, literally throwing a tantrum like that. Yeah. I get it. Like, hey, make your case, make your point, but move on. Exactly. And it took him 15, 20 minutes to try to move on. I mean, what kind of messages does that send to the team? It's like, but you know what? I did respect the fact that he had the ball in his hands, game on the line.
Yeah. I mean, now I'm not play devil's advocate here. I got obviously the one on my shoulder, just absolutely hating LeBron. And if I want to make a little bit of a case for him with the other shoulder, is the fact that the game has changed, right? And LeBron has made obviously way more 3-pointers than the majority of the people on that list. Most of those people were paint guys. I mean, even MJ wasn't really known as a 3-point shooter. He did make a lot of 3-pointers, but he was a guy that attacked the basket. And you could say, arguably, that it's harder to shoot a 3-point than it is to make a score in the paint, especially nowadays, because there's no defense. And it's obviously harder to shoot from a distance than to shoot and lay it up at the basket. So you could make for a fact that he's gotten those many points shooting harder shots and being successful than the guys in the paint. But again, the guys in the paint, though, were getting slapped around, pushed around. They weren't just able to easily lay it up like they are now. So if he attacked the paint even more, he could possibly have a lot more points than what he's even got now.
LeBron or MJ?
LeBron.
Oh, yeah.
But, if he did more attacking the paint instead of even the 3-point shooters, because all those ones he missed, if he scored in the paint, because it's so much easier these days.
Well, I mean, nowadays he's shooting these threes because the Lakers are usually trailing. But yeah, I mean, you gotta thank Steph Curry for changing the game with his outstanding shooting behind the 3-point line. It's changed the game. Short guys have a chance to be in the league now if you can shoot a good 3-ball. But yeah, so it's just you can't take away the fact that he did pass Kareem. He did score those many, all those points. Yeah. So more power to him. Tip the cap. He earned it. I mean, he did earn it.
Yeah. It's just the way that he carries himself that I can't stand. Because MJ and Kobe, they would put their ear in the ref, because that's what a lot of good players do. You try to manipulate the refs in your advantage. It's like any sport, really. Whether it's baseball, football, you're always in the refs' ear because they're human. And the more you're on them, the more likely they are sometimes to give you that borderline call, because you're like, fuck, this guy's been riding my ass all day. I don't want him to get on me anymore.
So you did bring up chemistry. I do think that that because of LeBron James' antics, is that the right word? Antics? Because of the way he acts, I do think that there is problems inside the locker room. I don't know if we brought up AD. So AD is supposed to be the guy. He's supposed to be the guy. Once LeBron retires, the Lakers, star players, is supposed to be AD. There's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. So as LeBron sunk that last shot to pass Kareem, the whole everyone there was on their feet congratulating LeBron, giving him a standing ovation. The game paused. It was great. It was a good moment. AD goes and sits down and looks pissed off. He looks like someone pissed in his cereal. Is that the right thing? I don't know. He looks like he just got summoned. He looks like he just got summoned for court or some shit. It was horrible. And they asked him about it. He said that he was just pissed off that they were losing. But it's just, for something that huge, if you're a fan of the game, if you're a player, every single person seemed like they were happy for LeBron, besides AD and Mike over here.
Well, that's because all those guys were paying $1,000 to see his ass, so you had nothing but LeBron fans in the house.
Yeah, okay. But that doesn't take away the fact that there's problems behind the scenes, and I kind of think that AD might be out at the end of the year. AD might be the one that they're thinking about trading or getting rid of. And if you're a Laker fan, I don't think you're that mad about it because I don't think his ceiling gets higher than it is right now because he's made of glass. I heard Reggie Miller the other night at the game say that once AD grimaces, that's 3 weeks. He's out 3 weeks. And, I mean, that's funny, but at the same time, it's the best ability is availability, and that guy cannot stay healthy. He cannot stay on the floor.
And you can almost say that about LeBron at this point, too, though. He seems like he's always got some kind of inkling.
Yeah, but LeBron's 60 years old. I mean, he's doing – you can't put the whole team on LeBron's back, which that's what they're doing. And LeBron's the only reason why they're winning any games. But they just got – well, we'll talk about that in the next segment.
An argument's also made the reason why they're losing the games or losing is because of the LeBron show, and he was just chasing a record, and he didn't really care about winning. Like, you would talk to Kobe or someone like MJ during that time, they'd say, I don't care about the record.
Job not finished.
The job's not finished. They wouldn't even be thinking about that record. They wouldn't answer questions about it in the news. They'd say, no, how do we do in the game today? That's what LeBron is missing. And arguably why I think that if they were to trade anyone, I wouldn't get rid of AD. I'd get rid of LeBron.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I have heard, you have to be humble in victory, humble in defeat, and LeBron's never read that because he does. I consider myself the greatest player of all time. I am the king. He's said some pretty douchey things. Yes, he's great. He is great. We might not ever see a talent like this again, but. You humble. You got to stay humble. You stay
humble and hungry.
Yeah, humble and hungry. There you go. And so it's been an interesting time for LeBron here in LA.
But speaking of who teams should trade, had some pretty big trades go down this week, Rob, and this weekend. One of my obviously most notable ones is KD going to the Phoenix Suns. Probably one of the top one, but we had quite a few. Even the Lakers had some pretty good trades. Let's get your take on it.
Well, I think the whole thing when LeBron started the super teams and he went to Miami, that changed the whole dynamic of the league of basketball, and players just started joining teams, and I think it takes away from the competitive nature of the sport. If you consider yourself the best, or you consider yourself one of the best, you want to beat the best because you want to be considered the best, and in order for that, you got to beat the best instead of joining them, which is what KD has done a second time here. And the last time he did that, he joined the Warriors, which the year before they were setting records, being compared to the Bulls team, the best team to ever be assembled. Yeah, and that's just such a weak move. I mean, what's the opposite of alpha? That's what KD is. It says in the dictionary, opposite of alpha is Kevin Durant. But it's just it's like joining a project after it's done and taking credit for it. I don't think the Suns trade move, I don't think that would be considered the winner, because it definitely puts on the most pressure. But if you don't win a championship, then it's a big fail because of all the players and all the first round, all the picks that Brooklyn has now. So it's just if you consider yourself the best player, because KD thinks he is. He is. He's one of the best players around right now.
Mm-hmm. He's a freak of nature, just like LeBron, built, like nothing else.
But it just sucks, dude. Like, going to Brooklyn was this guy's idea. This guy was supposed to be the dude there, and we seen how dysfunctional that was. How many games did him, Kyrie, and James Harden play together, and they never meshed because they have just toxic mentalities. I don't like the move for the Suns.
You don't think this will push the Suns over the top and give them that chance to win this year?
I hope it comes down to one shot, and I hope KD takes it, and I hope he misses it. Comes down on his ankle and tears his taste. No, I'm playing.
There might be a LeBron here. I think we got a KD hater over here.
I just have a bad taste in my mouth, KD. You were so close with the Thunder. You were so close. And instead of working hard in the offseason and using that as fuel to beat them in the upcoming season, you join them.
I think it comes down to chemistry too, though. LeBron and just Westbrook not LeBron, but Durant and Westbrook just didn't mesh very well. That
It's
was
like-
the whole reason the team broke up.
It's like if Luke Skywalker was getting his ass kicked and then joined Darth Vader in the dark side. That's what it's like. It's like, you went the wrong direction. What does that send? What kind of message does that send for all these kids looking up to them? Like, if you can't beat them, join them.
Join them.
So the Suns on paper, they got better. If I'm playing 2K, then awesome. It's fun. If you want to sell some jerseys, cool. But it's like
it was a hefty. It was a 4-way team trade. I think I was saying earlier it was a three-way team. But it was actually a 4-way team between the Bucks, Pacers, and Nets. Nets got Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, Juan Pablo Vollet, and a bunch of picks from Phoenix and Milwaukee. Bucks received Jay Crowder. And then Pacers got George Hill, Serge Ibaka, and Jordan Nora, and some picks.
Yeah, there's a lot of players being shuffled around. The big names, obviously Katie, Cam's great. Crowder's a good piece too. A good piece for a winning ball club to have. Great hair too. Big dude. But other than that, what trade I really do like. The Lakers finally got rid of Westbrook. Now, you know what? I don't want to talk shit about that guy, because another thing with him, too, is he was great. At the end of the day, he's a Hall of Famer. I knew right when they got him that he was going to mesh. There were a lot of people who were hyped, but his style of play, dude, I just don't see him ever winning a ring. It's just he's past his prime. He's not a good three-point shooter. He's small. He does give maximum effort. You can hand him that. But he's another toxic guy in the locker room. So and that contract was stupid. It was just stupid for his age, for the money. I thought that they were going to have a really, really difficult time getting rid of him, but they brought back D'Angelo Russell, and he was a Laker. He played with Kobe, and he was very mature. You could tell there was a lot of
growing up to be done.
There was a lot of growing up to be done. There was a lot of frustrations on Kobe's part because of the way he acted. They weren't a good team back then. He played with a lot of greats, though. So he went.
He's definitely better now than he was then.
Yeah. He played with Steph. He went to the Warriors for a little bit. He went to the T-Wolves, and now he's back. So hopefully he's done a lot of growing up, and now he's going to learn from LeBron. And he's a way better shooter. He's younger. He's more agile. So hopefully
he's got that experience, and he's learned enough to help lead the Lakers, because I think the Lakers really need something like that. I think they really did get a good trade. I think they definitely improved. They got, besides Russell, Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt. Mm-hmm.
They got rid of Pat Bev, which I thought was great.
For Mo Mamba or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Which he just threw hands. He got in some fight a couple days ago, too.
That's Lakers fashion there. But, they definitely got a good trade on that aspect, and I think they did definitely improve themselves. Is it going to be enough for the Lakers to be competitive this year? I don't think so. I think the writing is kind of on the wall for the season already for the Lakers, unfortunately. But, that is going to take a drastic turnaround for them.
I think for the Lakers, the big key is going to be AD. If you can get AD healthy and you can get AD healthy for the playoffs, then I think you guys have a chance. But AD is not a healthy guy, so but I'll be rooting for him.
Yeah, and then you got another notable one here, Kyrie Irving to the Mavericks.
Yeah.
With Markieff Morris, if I'm saying his name correctly. And then that's got in return Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith, and some picks from the Mavericks. I think it's a good pickup for the Mavericks. I think that'll help them. Yeah,
it's good temporarily because too much of Kyrie is toxic as well. It's just too many distractions, and I hope that he doesn't rub off on Luka. I'm a big Luka fan. I think he's real fun to watch. He's a leader, and just taking the mantle from Dirk for the Mavs, it's been a good transition. So I hope that he learns from him. I hope Luka learns from Kyrie when it comes to basketball, but everything off the field, I hope, or off the court, I hope he can contain it and see them go on a fun run. It would be cool to see because earlier in the season, Luka and Devin Booker, there was some beef going on there. So, and those are like two young up and coming stars, and seeing Kyrie versus Kevin Durant now, that'll be a real fun series to watch.
Yeah, Luka's definitely a player that's on the rise to becoming one of the best players in the NBA. I think he's already one of the best players in the NBA. But he's got a sky-high ceiling to what he can still become. So I think the Mavericks are going to be one of the fun teams to watch moving forward for this season. It's going to be interesting to see how Kevin Durant affects the Phoenix Suns. Do they get better? Do they get worse? Do they push them over the edge? Do they get it finally? And does Chris Paul finally bring home the championship that he's been looking for?
Yeah, if Chris Paul does not win a championship with this team, Kevin Durant, Booker, all the pieces they got there, they're a complete squad, then you got to start thinking, is Chris Paul really cursed? Is Chris Paul the answer for why they're not winning, why he's never won? At some point you got to say, maybe it's me.
Maybe. I don't know. I've always been a Chris Paul fan. I've never really not liked Chris Paul. Good player. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, we're definitely going to see on that. World Baseball Classic. Let's dive into some of these rosters a little more in depth than we did last week, and kind of see, what we're working with here. So we got, let's see here. Let me list over. Right. So the Australian team. Let's see. Most notables on the Australian team I got here.
Trying to bring up the rosters as well.
Not really a whole lot. So we got Stephen Kent from the A's. Quite a few A's players on the Australian team, actually. Daniel McGrath from the Red Sox.
We're bringing it up right now.
Joe Kennedy from the, or John Kennedy. Looked like Joe Kennedy. John Kennedy from the A's. Josh Tolis from the A's. Well, Australian people on the A's. Tim Atherton, Stephen Kent, Tim Kenley.
There's no real big names coming up from the Australian team.
I can't tell if these are from the A's by their hat or if that's the Australian hat. Might be the Australian hat that I'm looking at, actually.
So, yeah, the Australian team might not be one of my top favorites to win it all, but you know what? We're going to see some good ball from down under.
Yeah, so, Australia got some good baseball down there. We know some people that play in the Australian leagues. They got good competitive baseball. But nothing compared to, I think, the Dominican Republic team that we got going on here.
Is that where you're going next?
Yeah. So we got the Dominican Republic. What do we got? We got Carlos Estevez, which he's the new Angels reliever. We got Brian Abreu, Gregory Soto, Johnny Cueto is a good notable one on the Dominican Republic. Gary Sanchez, one of the catchers for the Dominican. Gene Segura, Jeremy Pena, Kettle Marte, Manny Machado, Nelson Cruz, Rafael Devers, Robinson Cano, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., probably the most notable one on there. Juan Soto, Julio Reyes. Dominican Republic is stacked. Yeah,
they're stacked. A guy you didn't mention is Christian Javier, the pitcher from the Astros. He just got extended as well. They're pretty stacked. They got some good veterans. They got some good young guys. They're looking to.
My picks for me last year. Looking at the roster now, I don't know. I have to change my picks a little bit. Dominican Republic is going to be a force to be reckoned with. They might. I don't know.
Yeah, they have every aspect of the game. They got power, they got pitching, they got speed, they got fielding.
They definitely got a chance. So they're in the running, I think, to make the chance.
Oh yeah, they got some good veterans. They got some good young guys.
One thing about baseball, no matter how much talent you got, baseball is a game that any day, any team can beat you.
Yeah, for the fact too of the last World Baseball Classic, USA won. On paper, we were definitely not the best team.
Yeah. So anything can happen. It's pretty much like a one and done. You do, I think, in the beginning at least have to lose 2 in a row in the first round. So you do have that 1 game cushion out of the first round, but after that, it's one and done. And
All right. Well, let's pick an MVP for every
team.
For every team.
Okay. I don't know where to start for the first team. We just went over the Australian team. I'm just going to throw a name out here. I'm going to go.
I'm gonna go with the dark horse. I'm gonna go Robbie Cano. Let's see, because there's been all kinds of bullshit going on with his name ever since he got popular for the roids.
Is that from the Dominican Republic, Robbie Cano?
Yeah, Robbie Cano, dude. I mean, the dude is still rake. I've seen videos of him. I mean, like, I just think he's gonna have a big breakout. Classic,
could be.
You know.
I'm gonna go Wander Franco with that note then.
Okay.
That's another guy I didn't mention either. I mean, he's an all-star right there too. And then from the Australian team, I'm gonna go with Aaron Whitefield. It's the only name I recognize.
Let me see. I don't think
an outfielder on the Australian team. So I'm gonna go with him on the Australian team.
For the Australian team, I'm gonna go. Oh shit! I'm on the wrong one. I am going to go. Let's go with. I don't really know these guys that well, so I'm just going to go with a random one. I'm just going to go with Logan Wade, swish hitter, big kid, 6'1", 190.
So, and then Dominican Republic, you got Robbie. I got Wander Franco.
All right, where do you want to go next? You want to go Canada?
Right. Let's go. I got Canada up next on my list here, so we'll go Canada.
Yeah, they might be an underdog. They got some dogs on this team. I mean, with any team with our guy Freddie Freeman is going to be a contender, and that's actually
Freddie's a Canadian.
Yeah, they got Tyler O'Neill as well. Who else? What else? Some big names here. Let's see.
They got Russell Martin as a coach. Russell Martin's a good coach. I mean, those are probably the biggest names on the team. They got Otto Lopez. They got Abraham Toro.
Yeah, I'm going with Freddie for my my MVP.
I'm going to have to agree with you on this team. Freddie's definitely the standout candidate to be the MVP for Canada for sure.
Yeah, Freddie.
So let's take a hop across the pond here. Let's look at Great Britain and their team. They got Alex Webb is on the team. Who else they got here? They got... not really many standouts for across the pond. Alex Crosby, Darnell Sweeney, Trace Thompson is apparently a Brit. I did not know that. I mean, must be on his mother's side. I can't see it on the father's side.
I mean, there's some darker dudes in Great Britain. I mean, it's 2023. A little bit of naughty water. Is that Brit? I don't know.
Doesn't sound British.
Trace.
So you know what? I'm gonna go Trace Thompson just because he's
Trace Thompson,
hometown local. Yeah, I like his father on the radio. So I'm gonna go for Great Britain, Trace Thompson.
Yeah, probably, you know what?
Probably a little bit of an underdog on that one.
Well, because of that's like the only dude on here that I know. I'm gonna go Trace too. I mean, he's been playing pretty good for the Dodgers, so yeah, let's go Trace.
All right. So now on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, here we got the China team. Don't think there's going to be very many well-known on this team that we have for us. Not much that I know, but they do, China is always putting together a good product. Not as notable as Japan, but so if I had to pick one on here, I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with one of the infielders. He's a lefty, 6'1", 170. And Chin Chin as MVP.
Nice.
Throwing one out there because I have no idea.
You know what?
I like his name.
Yeah. Not a bad pick if I knew who that was. I'm going to go with Ray Chang.
Ray Chang.
He's a USA born player, but he's an infielder, 6'1", 195. Let's see what this guy's got. He's another infielder.
All right. And then moving on down southwest, I guess, of China, we got the Israel Rasta. Any notable ones on this team that we know? I feel like we did have someone, Zach Weiss. He's an Angels player this year. And he's playing for Israel. And then we got...
Jock Peterson.
Jock Peterson is Jewish? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jock Peterson, Alex Dickerson is on the team as well. Mike Kelly.
I'm going with Jock Peterson as my MVP. The Duke
Danny
and
Valencia from the Orioles is on there.
You know who's managing is Ian Kinsler and Brad Osmus. Kevin Youkilis is on this this coaching staff right
Kevin
here.
Youkilis. I like Kevin Youkilis.
Kevin, you can lick this. It's great. Yeah, so the great coaches, great coaching staff.
I don't know if I'm a fan of Brad Osmus, but the other ones are pretty good.
Brad Osmus, he was a great catcher back in the day.
Great catcher. Shitty Angels coach, but...
yeah. Well, he didn't really have that much to play with, too.
But I love Ian Kinsler and Kevin Youkilis.
Jock, I'm looking for Jock to tear it up.
I think Israel could be a little bit of an underdog. A little underrated team for the World Baseball Classic. I think they got a chance to make it out of the first round. We'll see what happens.
All right, where we go next?
And then we got here now hopping to the other Chinese team, Chinese Taipei. I think is how you pronounce that.
Other Chinese team.
Taipei.
Chinese number 2. That's probably not PC.
The other, let's see, not very many notables. Anyone that I really recognize on here.
It's all Taiwan. I think
mostly Taiwan born. So it's the Taiwan team, I guess, then. Is that what we're looking at? I'm going to go.
I don't even know if I'm going to attempt to say any of these guys.
I'm going to go with an outfielder. He's a little shorter guy, lefty, 5'11", 158. I'm going to go with Chen Wei Chen. I think that's how you say the name. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I'm pretty sure. Stop laughing. Make me laugh more.
Okay, dude, that's a great pick. Can we hear that one more time?
It's not funny.
All right, here we go. Let's go with that guy. All right, so I think I'm gonna go with someone I can say a little bit better. All right, I'm gonna go.
Name, I swear to God.
I'm gonna go with.
He's not related to Chin Chin from the other team either. Totally separate players.
God, that's great. I'm gonna go with an infielder with a little bit easier of a name, Li Lin. And that's not Jim Li Lin. It's Li Lin. He's 5'11", 189. So yeah, I don't know much about him other than his name. So I'm just taking a shot in the dark here. Just another guy to root for, you know? All right, let's move on. Where do you want to go around the world now?
All right, well, let's go ahead and to the Japan roster from there. The probably one of the most notable ones. Obviously, Shohei Ohtani, probably the most notable player on this roster, but they also have
Yu Darvish.
Seiya Suzuki, I've heard some good things about. Tetsudo Yamada, I've also heard some good things about. Obviously, I got to go with Shohei as the MVP for the Japan team. They got Yu Darvish is on the team as well. They got a good team. Japan's always got a good team. We got lots of good talent in Japan. Probably the most notable league around the world other than the U.S.
Yeah, they're all about the fundamentals. Just great fundamentals over there. They produced a lot of great ball players. I'm going to go with Shohei as well. It's hard not to. Yu Darvish, he just got extended as well. Good for that guy. I know when he was with the Dodgers and the whole Astros cheating scandal, they tore him up a little bit in that series. And you know, a lot of people were saying, like, is he going to bounce back from those outings? Because they tore him up, but it's because they knew what was coming. He's got some filthy shit. So I'm hoping that him and Shohei put on a good show, pun intended. But yeah, Shohei, it's hard not to pick him as the MVP. I think he's just going to be insane. He's going to hit some pretty massive bombs. He's in shove. He's in triple digits. He's just all around fun to watch. So yeah, Shohei.
Yeah, gotta go Shohei. Can't go Shohei.
Where do you want to go next?
So next up on the list, that's gonna be Colombia.
Some Colombian
Jose
bang bang.
Quintana. Jose Torres, Julio Teheran, Luis Escobar. Some big notables on here. Elias Diaz, Adrian Sanchez, Evan Mendoza, Gio Urshela, a new angel, also for Team Colombia. So, I mean, they got a pretty solid team. Definitely not one of the best teams by any means, I don't think. They got Orlando Cabrera as an assistant coach on this team.
That's cool.
So
OC.
that's pretty cool. Love me some OC.
Jose Quintana and Julio Teheran, they were both Angels that just didn't pan out. But again,
He's panning out for the Mets now.
yeah, well, I mean, it's crazy because when he went to the Cardinals, I mean, he did great. I had to double check to make sure it was the same dude. I mean, completely different, and it's crazy what a change of scenery could do for a guy. So yeah, I'll be rooting for him. I'm gonna pick a pitcher this time. I'm gonna pick Jose. I'm gonna pick Jose Quintana. Like the fucking.
I'm gonna go with the new angel. I'm gonna say Gio Urshela for some reason.
Okay.
He's gonna have some kind of standout performance. I feel like he's got something to prove this year. Being traded from the Twins. He's definitely kind of on the more back end of his career, and I feel like he's just at that point where he wants to prove himself.
Yeah, but he's kind of fighting for a starting job too with the Angels. So it's kind of like a trial run, spring training, if you will.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's a good pick.
Next we got Puerto Rico. Definitely some good standout people on here. Alex Claudio. We got Hector Santiago, former Angel. George Lopez, Jose Barrios, Marcus Stroman on the mound for them. Christian Vasquez behind the plate. Martin Maldonado behind the plate. Edwin Diaz, Emmanuel Rivera, Francisco Lindor, Javi Baez, Eddie Rosario, Henry Ramos, Nelson Vasquez, Yadier Molina as the manager. I mean, they got a good team.
Oh yeah, they got an all around just great squad. I mean, that middle infield, Javier Baez, Francisco Lindor. I don't think it gets much swaggier up the middle. You got Kiki Hernandez. I mean, that guy's swaggy too. Just they play the game with a lot of flair, a lot of fun to watch. Christian Vasquez, Maldi behind the dish. I mean, two just great catchers. I mean, both of them played for the Astros last season. Obviously, Christian Vasquez went elsewhere, but so they got some dudes that have played together before, and so the chemistry is going to be good. You got Yadier Molina, instant, just a Hall of Famer, first ballot, most likely first ballot Hall of Famer to be the manager of that team. So you got some good dudes. I mean, Eddie Rosario, we've seen what he did with the Braves. So just all around good. This one's a real tough one to pick an MVP because of how well rounded they are. Stroman, which last World Baseball Classic, he was a big part of the USA team, is taking his talents to Puerto Rico. So he's fun to watch too, but now he's past his prime. So I just think that he's going to be there for the other dudes. Oh, Jose Barrios, that guy shoves. Like you said, Hector Santiago, he's an arm to eat up some innings. But
got a question for you. You mentioned that Stroman played for the USA team, right? How do you feel about players hopping teams like that? I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I think you got to pick a country and support it. I don't know how I feel about switching sides.
Well, I don't know how much of the other ethnicity or whatever you have to be considered eligible to play for another country. I mean, if you're eligible and you want to, I mean, hey, it's a hell of an experience.
It is, but I don't know. It's kind of like the Olympics. I mean, it's like you're competing in the Olympics this year for USA, and then all of a sudden, the next Olympics, you're competing with Russia. I mean, obviously, Puerto Rico and America aren't like that, but I don't know. It feels weird to me that you're Team USA and now you're Team Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
No matter what the countries were.
If you have a certain amount in you and you qualify, then so be it. It is a different experience. I personally, I mean, I'm half Mexican, half white, so I'd be considered eligible for Mexico, but because of me personally, I'd probably play for the USA.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, these guys have an opportunity to play, to just see the culture and see how baseball is played from different countries. I mean, more power to them. I get it, you know.
I mean, I don't have anything against necessarily like the players doing it. I guess it's just, I don't know. It's maybe just a question to be asked. You know, I just don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if it's negative, positive.
No, I'm cool with it.
I'm cool with the whole World Baseball Classic and everything. So, you know, I don't know, something to think about.
Yeah, no, I mean,
food for thought.
I like it. You could put up a poll or something, you know.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Puerto Rico's definitely got a good team. Definitely a team I think could win if all the cards fell right for them.
So yeah, you got an MVP?
If I had to pick an MVP,
I got one.
I'm gonna go Eddie Rosario.
Okay. Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. I'm gonna go with Francisco Lindor. I think the guy is a monster, and I think he's clutch. I think he's gonna have a lot of clutch ABs. I mean, he's gonna turn a lot of singles into doubles into triples. Make some sick web gems.
Mm-hmm.
Javi's good too, but he's just so hot and cold. I mean, they're gonna show a lot of they're gonna show the blow off, and it's gonna be really, really fun to watch. So yeah, Francisco Lindor, that's my MVP for Puerto Rico.
Not a bad pick. I was tossing around in my head a little bit. All right, let's move on to Cuba. Let's see. We got Livan Monello, Miguel Romero, Ronald Bolanos from the Royals. We got Lorenzo Quintana, Johan Moncada from the White Sox, an Angel killer. We got Luis Robert Jr., Jonas Cespedes, probably the most notable one on this team.
On Cuba?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did click the wrong one.
Yeah, Jonas Cespedes is probably the most notable one on here for me. And if I had to pick an MVP, it's probably going to be him.
Cespedes?
Yeah. Like I said, we got you know, some decent players on here.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with. I'm not gonna go with Cespedes. I'm gonna go with Luis Robert Jr. I think he's a great up and coming White Sox.
Okay.
But yeah, the dude's a monster. He can play all around, and he's got some pop. Another one I was thinking about going with Jan Moncada, but I don't think I'm going to do that one. I think I'm going to go Luis Robert Jr.
His career against the Angels when he had 15 hits in a row or something like that to start his career.
Another White Sox, yeah. But yeah, they're good all around club too.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see them win it, but you never know.
Never know.
We got Venezuela up next. Venezuela. Let's see. Most of them, we got Edwin Escobar, Eduardo Rodriguez. We got Jonathan Diaz, Jose Quijada, which is an Angel pitcher this year. Luis Garcia, Martin Perez, Salvador Perez, Eduardo Escobar.
You got Miggy,
Gleyber Torres is on here. Luis Rengifo.
Mm-hmm. Miguel Rojas,
Ronald Acuna Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who I'm going to pick. This is a pretty deep team.
Oh yeah. So for me, I mean, it's really hard. I mean, because Eugenio Suarez, that guy has been consistently solid for so many years. Jose Altuve, the controversy, it's hard for me to pick him, but he is still a solid ball player. But you know what? I'm gonna have to go with Acuna Jr. That guy Ronald is just one of the.
Jose Altuve's on here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not seeing him on mine.
Yeah.
I'm just looking over him because I don't like him. I don't see him.
He's wearing a go to infielders. There he is.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
I guess I just looked over him because I don't like him. This team's stacked. This is definitely a team in contention to win it all, so they could take out the USA very easily. I mean, they're definitely stacked. MVP. I'm gonna let you go first on this one. Who are you picking?
Yeah, so I'm picking Ronald Acuna Jr. That guy is just he's one of the the young stars of the game right now, and just to see him rake a healthy Ronald is just he's a lot of fun to watch. I put him up there with one of the best players in the game right now. So yeah, I mean Miggy, it's pretty fun that Miggy's on here. He's on here as a designated hitter, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're stacked, dude. I mean, it's gonna be fun to see what they do with the lineup. But yeah, Ronald.
Boy.
I'm going Ronald.
Now I want to go with my boy Luis Rengifo. I think he's also a player who's got something to prove this year because he wants that full-time starting spot that he started to earn at the end of last season. He's a fun player to watch. Just an overall good attitude, good demeanor about the kid. My only question is if they're going to play him much over the others to where he gets the chance to be the MVP.
Yeah, I mean, I would start him over Miguel Rojas, the newly acquired Dodger.
I mean, they also got Eduardo Escobar, Andrew Jimenez, Gleyber Torres, Jose Altuve, but I'm going to say it's him anyways. I'm just going to stick with Luis.
They got Salvi. Salvi's one of the best catchers around right now, too.
Yeah, no, he's got a chance. I'm still going Rengifo.
Yeah, solid pick.
Next, we got the Czech Republic. Let's see, we got any notables on here. We got not really any that stand out, to be honest. Not a lot of names that are coming to me. I think this might just be a random pick for me. I never really thought Czech Republic really had much of a shot, but again, catch anyone on their bad day, you can beat them.
Yeah, dude. The only guy I know on here is Eric Sogard, the once a Cub to second baseman with the glasses.
Yep.
That's really all I know. He's like the only USA born
that's the
player.
only one that stands out for me is Eric. So I'm gonna have to go with him.
And I'm probably not going to go with him for my.
No.
I mean, he's old. I'm not going to go with him. You know who I am going to go with? Let's see. I'm going to go with. Fuck, dude. I don't even know how to say these guys' names, too.
I'm going to go with the pitcher. How about that? Let me change it. I'm going to go to Merrick Minark. Merrick Minark, right-handed pitcher, 6'8", 234.
I'm going to go with Martin Cervinka. I don't even know if I said that right, but he's a big dude. 6'4", 193. So let's see if he's got some pop. He's an infielder, so I don't know much about him, but I look forward to learning and seeing if this guy can ball out.
All right. That'll move us on to our USA team. Or we want to save them for last?
Yeah, let's save them for last.
Okay.
Let's go Mexico next.
Save them for last. Let's go to Mexico. Some good notables on here. We got Giovanni Gallegos, Jake Sanchez, Jesus Cruz, Jojo Romero, Julio Urias, maybe one of those standout ones on this team, Patrick Sandoval from the Angels, Tyjon Walker, Austin Barnes from the Dodgers, also a former opponent for us back in high school. We got Alex Verdugo, Jaron Duran, Jose Cordona. Some good middles on here. Benji Gill, managing Mexico team. We know Benji Gill. Hard to pick. It might be a pitcher on this one for Mexico.
Yeah, their outfield's pretty stacked. I mean, Randy Rosarina, Alex Verdugo.
Yeah.
Those guys can rake.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to go. I mean, I don't want to go with him, but if I had to, I'm going to say it's going to be a pitcher, Julio Urias.
Yeah, I mean, the guys. I mean, we've seen what he can do with the Dodgers. That's a solid pick. It's pretty cool to see Oliver Perez at 59 years old coming out of retirement, pitching for them. But you know what? It's hard for me to go with a pitcher. I'm gonna go with Alex Verdugo. I think he's gonna come up with some big spots.
Not a bad pick. Okay. Let's go to Korea. Are there any good mentions on Korea?
Let's look real quick.
We got Han Kim. I'm not sure how to say his first name, but he's a lefty from the Cardinals, pitching for Team Korea. Byung Ho Park from the Twins, probably notable infielder there. We got Han Soo Kim also. I think he's from the Phillies.
Yeah, Tommy Edman from the Cards.
Yep. Who to go with?
I'm going with Tommy Edman.
Tommy Edman. Yeah, I'll have to agree with you on that one. I'll go with Tommy Edman as well.
It's because you don't want to try to say any of these other guys' names.
Think about enough of the name game.
All right, let's go Italy next.
Let's go to Italy. All right.
Pretty cool here. The manager for Team Italy is going to be none other than Mike Piazza, Hall of Fame catcher. We all know Mike Piazza.
We do know Mike Piazza.
Yeah, they got some good dudes. Yeah, David Fletcher. Fucking Fletcher. Fletcher's coming up clutch.
Yep, they got Matt Harvey. They got Steven Woods Jr. They got, who else they got here? Robel Garcia.
You got Matt Harvey.
Yep,
coming out of retirement. The Batman.
Got Dominic Fletcher. Are they related?
I do not know.
That'd be interesting to see.
Right.
But yeah, so they got Mike Piazza helping coach here in Team Italy. So yeah, they got a decent team. If I had to pick an MVP, I think I'm going with my boy Fletch because he's got a lot to prove this year as well. He's fighting for a starting spot with the Angels here as well, so he definitely needs to have a good World Baseball Classic in spring training. So yeah, I'm going with Davey Fletcher.
I'm going to go with a guy that, a big dude, I think he's a first baseman, Vinny, and I apologize because I'm going to just butcher this last name, Pascanato, whatever. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Your last name is a little difficult for me. So, but he's 6'4", 245. Look, I mean, the sounds of that, he looks like a freaking outside linebacker. So it looks like this guy's probably got some pop. So it'd be cool to see what kind of tanks this guy can hit.
So Daniel versus Vinny.
Vinny. Right. Yeah, I'm going with Vinny.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's see here. Then we got, I think, Kingdom of the Netherlands. Nothing really here besides our boy Alton Simmons is on the team.
He played there last.
Edie Gregorius is there as well. Jonathan Scoop. Another one, Alexander Bogarts. I think those are the ones that stand out for me the most. If I had to pick,
I'm going Xander for sure.
Yeah, Xander Bogarts definitely, I think, the most notable one on the team. I think if they stand a chance, it's him for MVP. Then let's go to the next country of
I think we got all of them now.
Nicaragua. Most notable ones on here: J.C. Ramirez. Also got Leo Crawford. Not a whole lot on this one that really stands out. Dwight Britton. Yeah, I don't know who I'd pick on this one. No one really stands out to me. Maybe Jonathan. I don't know how to say your last name, Jonathan, but we'll say Jonathan L. His last name looks like lasagna. I'm pretty sure that's not how you say it.
Where is
it? It looks like lasagna.
Outfielder?
Pitcher.
Pitcher? Are you going with the pitcher?
Jonathan, yeah. We'll just call him lasagna. For all intents and purposes. Lasagna. So
yeah, Mike's hungry, so we might have to wrap this up pretty soon here. I'm not going to go with that guy. I'm going to go with Dwight Britton. I don't know much about you either, but you're a big boy. 5'9", that's not that big, but the 220 for a 5'9" guy. Let's see what this guy can do. Hopefully he can hit, Meals on wheels over there.
All right. So second to last, we got Panama.
Panama,
we got Jaime Barria from the Angels on the pitching staff.
Jaime.
We got, who else we got here? Christian Betancourt from Tampa Bay is on the team.
And not much else. I don't know.
That's most of the recognizables for me on there. So if I had to pick one, I'm going to have to go with, I don't even know.
Yeah, dude. I don't really know either. I'm just going to go.
I'm going to go Christian Betancourt. Why not?
I'm going to go
Tampa Bay.
Josh Wan. Right. And that's just because it's a guess. I don't really know any of these guys, but I like the way the name's spelt. So,
there you go.
Yeah.
Throw about the names in this World Baseball Classic.
Guesses and names.
So you got a good name, you're an MVP.
All right, let's wrap it up, dude, with USA.
Right. Yep. Most noticeable one, USA. Obviously, all the players we know, Adam Wainwright, Clayton Kershaw.
Just some solid dudes here, dude.
Nestor Cortez, JT Ramalto,
Kendall Graveman, Lance Lynn,
Trey Turner, Jeff McNeil, Schwarber, Tucker, Trout, Betts, Mark DeRosa's the manager. And I think the obvious pick I have to go with, because it's my boy, got to go with Trout. I got to see Trout succeed in some primetime baseball.
It's not a bad pick at all. My heart wants to go with Mike Trout, but I'm not going to go with Mike Trout. I am going to go with Nolan Arenado. He played last World Baseball Classic, and for a while he didn't hit until they needed him to. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he's going to play just an outstanding third base, and I mean, he's been there, he's done it, he's won with the team, he's won for the United States of America, and now he's coming off a good year with.
King Griffey Jr. is the hitting coach for the team this year. I didn't even know that.
In 2009, he was a starting center fielder too, playing with Jeter.
He's the hitting coach. Andy Pennett's the pitching coach. Damn,
dude, it's just
Ebel, third base coach.
We have Andy Pettit,
pitching coach.
Yeah, Brian McCann, dude. I mean, yeah, we got to try to go to some of these games.
We got the chance
just stacked, dude,
potentially to go to the opening round in March.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try and get to that classic and see what happens. But I mean, that's a good pick too. I mean, you can't go wrong, I don't think, with picking almost anyone on this team.
Mm-hmm.
They're all all-stars. They're all great.
Mm-hmm.
Any one of these guys can step up and win it for the USA. So USA, Japan's still my pick for the finals. Hopefully that's what happens. At the very least, we just need to see them go against each other. I think they can meet. They have a chance to meet in the semifinals, I believe.
Who do you think is going to start on the bump?
In the championship game?
No, game one.
Game one.
We have some Hall of Famers here. Adam Wainwright, Clayton Kershaw. I mean, Lance Lynn.
I think you just named the only two top picks for game one. I think just out of seniority.
Oh yeah, just the name alone.
Because this is definitely probably Adam Wainwright's last season.
I'm going to go Clayton Kershaw, dude.
You're going to go Kershaw? He's just not known in big games. But I guess if you're going to throw him in round one where you got an extra chance if you lose.
That's fucked up.
I mean, I'm just speaking the truth. He's just not known for big game pitching. Great regular season guy.
Yeah, well, this
probably the best of all time regular season guy. But
so who are you going game one?
I think they start Wainwright.
And Waino?
Yeah, I think Wainwright gets. He's got the seniority.
Yeah. All right.
Could be Graveman though too. I mean, all these guys are good.
Well, we'll talk about it a few more times before it comes.
Yes. So, last thing we got to go over real quick: crazy news for the MLB of potentially shaking up the divisions.
Oh yeah,
with some potential MLB expansion teams that are in the works. Talking about Charlotte, talking about Nashville. I think there was one spot out here. I think they were also talking about, I forget where. But I mean, looking at these divisions, I mean, this would be, I think obviously the most controversial one already is the East. So they're talking about separating baseball like they do kind of basketball and football, hockey into a West and Eastern conference, which I don't know how I feel about that yet. Maybe if I marinate in it a little bit. I mean, it would definitely increase the Angels' chances a little bit because what they have here is a little bit less competitive than maybe not so much less, but
yeah. I don't know if I would say it's less competitive. You still have the Dodgers and the Padres.
Yeah, I mean, they want the West to be the Diamondbacks, Angels, Dodgers, and the Padres to be the Western Division in the Western Conference. So obviously the two teams there to compete against be the Dodgers and the Padres. I can't really count the Diamondbacks out, but they're not really in it at the moment. Padres, though, are kind of a hit and miss team. You know, they haven't really proven themselves yet to be a winner. Yeah, they beat the Dodgers finally in the playoffs last year, but all for naught as they lost to the Phillies, right? Phillies took them out. So, but let's just run down these Western Conference divisions real quick. We got the Midwest would be the Cubs, White Sox, Brewers, Twins. They have the Southwest being the Astros, Royals, Cardinals, and Rangers. I think that's an absolute win for the Astros. So, opens them wide up in their division. Pacific Coast would be the Rockies, Athletics, Mariners, Giants. I don't know why that would be the Pacific Coast team, and the Rockies are in the middle of the Midwest almost.
And the Giants.
And the Giants are on the West Coast. They're on the coast. So it should be that, which was already what the West was that would be the Angels, Dodgers, Padres, A's, Mariners, Giants. So if anything, it's
too many teams.
Yeah, it's just too many teams, though. But maybe the Diamondbacks maybe move the Rockies to there and move one of the other teams up to the Pacific Coast just doesn't make sense. But I mean, I get they're trying to even it out. And then they got the West, again, we said Diamondbacks, Angels, Dodgers, Padres. And then on the Eastern Conference side, the Southeast, they got the Braves, Marlins, the potential Nashville expansion team, and the Rays, which that would be pretty much at that point probably the Braves division to lose. The Mid-Atlantic, Orioles, Charlotte expansion, Pirates, and Nationals, right there, just not, it's like one of those like 500 baseball clubs getting into the playoffs, like the, you know, losing record for the football team getting into the playoffs still. The North Division, the Eastern would be the Reds, Guardians, Tigers, Blue Jays. That's an alright division there. But probably the most controversial one, or most notable, that's going to probably cause the most drama in the league would be the East, having the Red Sox, Mets, Yankees, and Phillies all in the same division.
Toxic. So, I mean, at first, because baseball fans are they don't like change. You know, you change a couple of the rules and people start hating it. But you have to be adaptable. You have to be able to change. You know, the game. It's okay. It's okay for the game to change a little bit, to evolve. That's the main word, to evolve into the next phase. Mm-hmm. I at first didn't like it, but it's grown on me a little bit, and it would kind of cause a little stir up in like where you live, you know, mm-hmm. Because it's all local teams now. It's the area, you're fighting for the area, you know, it's bragging rights. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I like it. I like it. It mixing things up a little bit. I mean, they already got rid of the DH, which was the main factor of separating.
They made the permanent DH.
Oh, what did I say?
Got rid of the DH.
Oh yeah, they got. That's what I meant. Yeah. They got rid of the whole. Yeah, so DH on both sides, you know, and that's what separated the two leagues. The divisions. So
I mean, it is growing on me a little bit. I have to say, it's growing on me a little bit. I mean,
it's that East. That'd be a lot of fun.
The last change they made is they took the one they had. There was one division with 5, which is the NL Central, mm-hmm. and they took the Astros and they moved them to the AL West. And you could say that's been the Angels' downfall ever since that happened, because mm-hmm. they've not been the same division-winning Angels ever since the Astros came aboard. So it definitely affected their outcome, but they haven't been able to adapt yet. But, I mean, I don't think I would mind it. However, I don't know. But the Angel-Dodger rivalry, obviously, it would be drastically different.
I think it'd only improve it, you know? But more freeway series.
I don't know. There's just something about being on the opposite sides of the league that made it even more, like, even better for me, for some reason. I mean, it's definitely going to improve the drama between Angels and Dodger fans if they're in the same division. There's going to be a lot more hate between
a lot more
fans.
drunken fights.
A lot more drunken fights between fans. There'll be a lot more Angel-Dodger games, though, mm-hmm. Which is a plus. But that would mean we would never get an Angel-Dodger World Series. The hopes of that are gone out the window forever. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, that sucks, but
kind of one of the things to look forward to.
Yeah.
So right there, that's one hope crushed.
I think I'd rather beat them
every day instead of
more throughout the year. And then try to
more bragging rights. Yeah.
I mean, they're still like the evil villains of the Yankees and stuff like that. So if we can, I mean, I don't know. It's up for debate, and I look.
It's definitely up for debate. I think it depends on just where we get those new expansion teams. Was it really going to be Charlotte, Nashville? Is it going to be somewhere else?
I heard Vegas as well.
Yeah, Vegas is definitely a place that's going to get a team, but I don't know if it's going to be an expansion. At this point, it's probably just going to be the Oakland A's, right?
I don't know. We'll see.
So we'll see what happens. But a lot happening this week. A lot coming up this week. So we'll be back again next week for another episode of Sportsman Media. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and that like button. Until next time, Ron.
That's it.
We're out.
And you're listening to The Sportsman, Mike and Rob.